Hi there, it's Leanne Phillipson, registered nutritionist, and welcome to Cook Together. Today is going to be a really fast and really easy. I've been asked for this type of recipe so many times. I need fast meals, I need easy meals, and this is what everybody's asking for. So here I am to deliver. Hello, Crystal. Welcome. You're our first viewer, I think. So today I'm going to make a beautiful curry quinoa salad. And this is such a staple in my repertoire. This recipe comes from Sprout Right Family Food, my book. And if you don't have the recipe, then please know that you can go to sproutright.com/cook together, and every day we will send you the recipe that I'm making today. On Sprout Right's Facebook and Instagram pages, you'll see the ingredients that you need, and then every day we send you out the email. All the recipes that I'm making in the whole of the Cook Together series they're available on Instagram. Instagram they go after 24 hours after we put them up. There's a few on IGTV. You can find the rest of them on the Facebook page, and also we're posting them to YouTube. So you can always search Sprout Right and Cook Together on YouTube. So today we're going to make this fantastic quinoa salad. I have taken this salad to just about every potluck, barbecue, picnic, cottage, anything like that I've ever been to. And now people say, what was that salad again that you made? Can you bring that again? Because it's so good. It's just such a tremendous recipe for people to just pile on their plate. It ticks off the plant-based, vegetarian, vegan, checklist, I guess, for whoever needs it. But you can always add in some. I've added in sausage pieces, leftover sausage before. I've added in leftover chicken before. I don't think I've really ever added in beef before, but you totally could. Any kind of meat, or you can just have it as a vegetable side. And while quinoa is a superfood, thought of as a superfood, because quinoa actually has the same protein profile, the same amino acids as we find in an egg. So that's unusual for a plant-based food, that you still have the full essential amino acid, which are the components, like the building blocks. Think of a house and all the bricks that it takes to keep that house up with a roof on, and keep that structure there. Amino acids are what that is to protein being the whole house. So the amino acids are the building blocks that we need in our bodies to be able to repair, to be able to fuel our muscles, to keep our blood sugar levels stable. Our immune system uses protein. We need protein, and it comes from a lot of plants anyway, and clearly from a plant-based food like quinoa. So this looks a little weird. It's like, hang on a minute, I thought it was kind of like rice and it was supposed to be in a saucepan. So to make this recipe, I just wanted to have this cool to be able to put in, but you don't need to. I had 225 grams of quinoa, and I cooked it in 2 cups of water. And I did that earlier because the whole recipe needs around 2 cups of cooked quinoa. Now, quinoa is one of those foods that when I was studying in the kind of late-ish 90s to become a nutritionist, I went for it with the quinoa, and I got so sick of it that I am definitely a nutritionist that's not like, yeah, quinoa, so excited, because it's just really very kind of plain when you have it like this. This is just kind of pretty boring. I don't know, I find rice has more taste than the quinoa. So don't feel badly if quinoa is not your, a love affair. You can cook quinoa with, sometimes I throw in some soy sauce, maybe I'll put in some, some kombu seaweed, just to give it more flavor. Sometimes I'll make it with a meat broth, which is a recipe also in my book. So, you know, you can do what you like with it to kind of jazz it up. So as it is right now, I've just made this with water. So there's not a ton of taste in this right now as it is. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give it a beautiful dressing. And so I just need 2 cups of cooked quinoa. And I'm gonna put it in what looks like a really monstrous container. And I might put the rest in. This is a recipe that tastes better over time. So if you're gonna make this and take this anywhere, I know we can't go anywhere right now, but if you're gonna make this ahead of time, maybe for, you know, for the rest of the week, for a few days or anything like that, then make it in advance because it's super fast to put together. So I've probably got, that might be like another cup and a bit. So it really comes down to the dressing that we're gonna put in here. So that's the quinoa, which is actually not that much. I'm sure that I've made this before with more than that. So we're gonna put in some fresh ginger. And if you haven't seen me do this before, then when I take a piece of ginger, then I just use a spoon rather than peeling all of it. I just kind of scrape off the skin of the ginger because we don't really want that when we are grating it. Ginger is hugely anti-inflammatory. It really helps to soothe digestion. And this recipe, have you heard me mention anti-inflammatory? Have you heard me mention antioxidants in any of the Cook Together videos? If you've been listening to me for a while, I hope that is starting to sink in as something that is quite important to your life. That everything that you eat has the potential to be pro-inflammatory, aka you know, kind of more saturated fat type foods, your burgers, your beef, your meat, you tend to think of that kind of thing, but also dairy. Dairy is very pro-inflammatory, so more of your animal meats tend to be more pro-inflammatory. So while I keep on making these more plant-based recipes, know that I'm not necessarily saying to you, please be plant-based. I'm talking about them because they tend to be more in the camp of being anti-inflammatory, which is what we want. We want that for our lungs to protect us from COVID, obviously. And, you know, I could go on and on and on about this for a really long time about anti-inflammatory, but you know, if your daily walks, I talked to my sister yesterday and she has plantar fasciitis and she said she can't even go for her walks anymore. We're still keeping up with our 6 p.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Australia time on the other side of the world. They one of the places over there I think that she did some work for or something like that. They work out at 8 a.m. different Pilates classes and all HIIT classes and all sorts of things. I haven't done all of them with her, but some of them I did. And man, last night I did a class with her at 6 o'clock after I finished this, and yeah, I'm still feeling it today. So so that's my kind of my go-to. But listening to my sister talk about the plantar fasciitis and all the pain that she happens to be in, wow, that is not good. Anti-inflammatory, anti-inflammatory, anti-inflammatory. That's all I can say. So I've just grated that ginger, and I'm gonna double check the liquid measurements for this. So in this measuring cup, I have 1/4 cup of just some pretty boring, plain old apple juice. You don't have to use that, but it does give it a little bit of sweetness. And normally what I like to do is just to use one of these, and then I kind of just keep on piling up. But you know what? My brain is not going to add up. It's not going to add up 1/3 to 1/4 to another 1/4 right now. I've got, look, as soon as I said add up, Logan goes, oh, math, that's my department, Mom. And?
Do you need help?
Do I need help? No, I don't need help because I'm just going to measure. I'm just going to use another, I'm going to use another measuring cup because I need 1/3 of a cup. Oh, yeah, 1/3 of a cup plus 1/4 of a cup. Okay. How do I measure that? No, she's got her calculator out. Haha. So here I have.
It's about a bit more than a 1/2 cup. It's about a 1/6.
I know. Well, luckily this is cooking and not baking, so you can just kind of wing it on that front.
Technically, it's 0.5.
Okay, so anyway, I have what did I just say of the, it's a third of a cup of olive oil. And I'm even measuring it wrong. So I'm gonna throw a little bit more in. I thought it was a quarter of a cup. So a quarter of a cup of just plain old boring apple juice. And to that, I am going to add a quarter of a cup of apple cider vinegar. And I'm measuring this because last night, the wilted greens that we made was a little vinegary for some of our taste buds in the family, not mine. So I've already have a quarter of a cup in this. Is that a quarter of a cup, Logan?
Let me see.
Yes, we're good. Okay, so I'm gonna add a quarter of a cup of the apple cider vinegar. That needs to go on my shopping list. Apple cider vinegar is very alkalizing for your body. It is fermented. It is fabulous. So that's why I have a bottle that's this big, because we go through it a lot. And this Phil Singer's is an orchard, I guess that's the right word for it, is an orchard that I get my apple butter from, and also that. So I'm trying to get my hair out of the way at the same time. Okay, so I've got those two liquids in. There's the cider vinegar, olive oil, and there, and the juice. See, now I'm gonna pour those three in together, and then we need some salt, some quinoa. What else? Curry powder, that was it. So curry powder, it may not be your favorite. If you don't love curry, you could probably try making this with just turmeric powder. So see the color of this? That's because it contains turmeric. And guess what I'm gonna say about turmeric and the incredible properties that turmeric have for our bodies? Any guesses, anyone? Any guesses? Anti-inflammatory. After I broke my ribs, I took turmeric as a pill. I took it, let me see if I can get this in. I took it as a pill because of its anti-inflammatory properties. Instead of taking like Advil or anything like that, I took it so that the pain that I was in from breaking 2 ribs, it was absolutely incredible. I think it probably took about 6 a day. It was a lot. So in curry powder, the reason why this is very healthy is because of the turmeric. I mean, everything else, it's the garam masala and everything else that's in here too is, but not everybody is a lover of curry. I am. I love it in any form. But know that if it's not exactly to your taste and you're okay with turmeric, then why don't you try some turmeric instead. So I'll just mix that up. Where did my salt go? Logan, could you grab me some salt, please? Someone, not naming any names at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, is probably not going to come on screen today because she might still have her pajamas on. Not me. I had to get dressed earlier today because today I did my first virtual workshop for new moms to talk about starting their baby on solids. It was a blast. Oh, so great to connect with moms. For anybody out there that has children and they're maybe older like mine are, can you imagine having like a 3 or 4 month old right now and being isolated as much as everybody is and not being able to meet up and go for those walks? My mom's group saved my life when I was, when the girls, well, after Logan was born, and then I had, did I have a mom's group with Hadley? I think I might have done. I had some friends. I probably still had my friends. I am still friends with those friends that I met from my first mom's group because, wow, the bond is really strong when you are in that situation of, I have no idea what to do. So, that's all the liquid ingredients. Perfect. Just double checking. It's all looking very blurry to me because the more I wear my glasses, the more my eyesight is getting worse. So I just thought I'd show you this little thing that I have here. I don't even know where it came from, but boy, oh boy, do I like a bit of a gadget. And somewhere I have a knife. Pardon? No, we've had this for a really long time. So anyway, this little guy goes in here, and then you turn it around, and hey presto, out comes all the center. Isn't that awesome? And then I just into the bin goes all the seeds. But that just makes life so much easier. I do like a little gadget like that. So we're gonna put in to the salad half a red pepper. I'm gonna do the same with half a yellow pepper, because guess what these contain? Antioxidants. You're gonna know these words, and then you're just gonna, when we can all go out and chat with each other again, or maybe on your next Zoom call, you might just drop the word antioxidants into your conversation, and then everybody will be like, anti who? And who have you been talking to, or who have you been listening to lately? Because what's all that about? Oh yeah, this nutritionist that's cooking every day, and she keeps on talking about these antioxidants. What is going on? What keeps her up at night? Not antioxidants. Antioxidants are keeping my body healthy so that I sleep well. Talking about sleep, I think that might be my next podcast topic. So if I'm gonna post on Sprout Right's Facebook page, and I'll try and do it on Instagram too, because I know not everybody is on Facebook, but I want to know what your problems are with your sleep right now. Sam, hey Sam, how you doing? Isn't that such a great gadget? And then this is another one for the really small peppers. So these two guys came together. I like a gadget that makes my life faster. So let's chop up these lovely peppers and all of their antioxidants and put them into the salad. Now I do have, like I said, I do have a lot of that uncooked quinoa left. So I could chop up a little bit more and add a little bit more into that and get rid of those seeds. This small knife is rather annoying. I can't chop fast with small knives, but anyway, we will get there. Sorry, sweetheart?
Use a bigger knife.
I know, I don't know where oh, here's a bigger knife. Oh, freshly washed. Oh, that's so much better. So tell me about your sleep. How are you sleeping? Are you sleeping well? Or are you not sleeping well? What's happening? I want to hear what your problems are, because if I can, I'm going to hopefully have a sleep expert to interview. I'm totally giving the game away for next week's podcast. Did you download this week's Eat This with Leanne yet? No, maybe not. Well, we talked about food waste this week, and I spoke with a chef, a meal planner, and a mom. That's all in one person. She's the head chef of HelloFresh, who are doing really quite an amazing job keeping up with the demand, because lots and lots and lots of people are using that service and loving it. It's just a lovely conversation. Corby Sue was her name. Chris and I had an absolute blast with her, and we talked about his floppy cucumber again that he found at the bottom of his fridge one day, and he said, "I'm never gonna live that one down." And I said, "No." And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that means you need to go back and you need to listen to episode 15 maybe, or 16, and then the newest one I think is episode 17, so you need to go back and listen to all that. Okay, so into here, I'm actually going to cheat today because I do have some dried apricots, and I know that you're probably sitting there saying, why aren't those bright orange? What, like, that's just like the wrong color. Why are they dark? These are Turkish or unsulphured dried apricots. Now, the reason why they're brown is because that's what happens when apricots just dry. They dry and they're brown, just like raisins were green and they dried brown. So it's quite normal. This sulfured process to make your apricots look bright orange is not great, especially for asthmatics, and it's kind of like just another process that your food goes through that it doesn't really need to. Now these guys I've had for a little while, so can't really hear it, but they're a little on the hard side. So what I would do, they would plump up beautifully in the dressing, but they're gonna be really hard to chop unless I rehydrate them and then put them in. So today I'm gonna cheat, and I got some lovely looking sultanas the other day. And I'm going to put in the 3/4 of a cup of sultanas or raisins. This is going to be Logan's most favorite dish, who doesn't really love peppers or raisins, but she's going to eat a little bit of it for dinner, maybe. She's looking at me with her raised eyebrows. So into this, so it just has a lovely curry plus sweet kind of flavor. If you've ever had a bunch of different curries, then you'll know that that sort of sweet, savory taste is just lovely. Now where's the ginger tablespoon? Yeah, that's about right. So into this can also go some chopped walnuts, which I don't actually have. So I could do some almonds if I wanted, or some slivers of almonds. That would also be quite nice. That would give it a lovely flavor. And now all you need to do is pour on that dressing. And hey presto, salad's done. So I'm gonna give this a bit of a stir. And the quinoa will actually continue, like it's quite sloppy, but the quinoa will actually continue to soak that up. But because I have this extra quinoa left here, I'm gonna throw in just a little bit. Doesn't that look really nice and colorful? Doesn't it look really appetizing? Now, tomorrow night, I'm going to make some chicken skewers with a Mediterranean herb rub. Those two together, I didn't want to do two things in one day because the recipe and all that kind of stuff. So this is a perfect accompaniment to that. Even though you've got Mediterranean and curry, you might think, nah, we're just gonna have a bit of a clash of flavors going on. So no, what are you talking about? Let's leave that combination stuff to the chefs. So I'm gonna add in just a little bit more of this quinoa. I do also have a corn and quinoa salad recipe in my book that you could use the rest of the quinoa for, or you can just have it as an accompaniment. You just kind of need to jazz it up a little bit. Quinoa does definitely need a little bit of help to it. And hey presto, other than just adding in some almonds, job, dinner, whatever it is, done. So that's it. What are you gonna have on the side of yours? Or are you? Maybe you're just gonna have this. Maybe this could be with, you could pop some greens on the side. Maybe you could, I don't know, what else would you do? Maybe just do a little bit of chicken if you wanted to put some meat next to it. Sausage, really, anything. This is your base, and then you can kind of go crazy from there. If you wanted to add in some arugula to this, that would be lovely. If you wanted to add in a little bit of kale, that would be lovely. Like really, a lot of the recipes that are in my book, it's only a place to start, and then you know that you can take them as far as you want. Now for greens today, I'm gonna add in some cilantro. Yes, I did go shopping finally on, what day is that? Friday, I think. And I managed to get some cilantro and parsley. I didn't kind of realize how much I miss the cilantro and parsley when I was making all the recipes towards the end of the week last week. I think it was the Asian noodle salad that needed the cilantro, and yeah, it needed the cilantro. It's fine without it, but it definitely needed the cilantro. So when you put that in, it just, I don't know, it does its thing. It does its cilantro thing, even if you don't love cilantro. That's just probably because you don't have that enzyme. I've mentioned that before, that those who eat asparagus and have oddly smelling pea, that's just because you're missing an enzyme. And if you don't like cilantro, apparently there's another enzyme that you're missing. So there we go, presto, all ready to go. So I hope you have a lovely dinner tonight, no matter what it is, or no matter when it is that you're gonna make this. Please remember, head over to sproutright.com/cook together. You can always purchase my book there if you like, or you know that you're going to get the recipes emailed to you when you let us know where to email them to every day. And then, what else? Yeah, that's it for today. You can have a surf around on sproutright.com just to check out the supplements, all the boost box and all the supplements that I have behind me for even more antioxidants, because I haven't said that enough. You never get enough antioxidants. So you can have some superfood powder with more antioxidants and more anti-inflammatory properties from the Kid Boost, which is my absolute go-to every single morning. I have this every morning without fail. I know that many of you out there drink coffee. I do not. This is better than coffee. I was at a conference 6 months ago and I had this with me, and there was a woman there that was like, "What is that stuff you keep drinking?" And I said, "Well, it's my Kid Boost." And she said, "Well, what is it supposed to do?" And so I told her, I said, "Well, it gives you a big boost of superfoods of antioxidants, anti-inflammatory. There's the beets in there. There's everything that goes on in there. And she said, okay, well, can I try it? And I said, sure. So the next time she needed a coffee at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, she came and found me, and she had a scoop in water, and then she downed it. And then after, at the end, 5:30, we wrapped up, and she said, oh, that was so good. That was better than coffee. And I said, really? Wow. And the next day, so I had a spare one, so she bought one from me, and she said, and then towards the end of the next day, she said, I've had 3 scoops today. I had one first thing in the morning, I had one after lunch, and then I had one when I started to crash, just to add closer to about 4 o'clock, actually. It pushed her crash a little bit further. And she said, can I take too much of this stuff? And I said, no, it'd be like eating too many goji berries. What are you talking about? So she was totally in. So honestly, like, antioxidants are so important, and that's what's found in all of your superfoods. So much so that I even put it all the way into the Kid Boost. This is also called Skin Boost for anybody that wants that vibrant, glowing skin. And that's why I talk about it every single time I cook anything with you, because I put antioxidants in everything. I put the superfoods in everything. Even so, it's in here. If you're finding that you're not making this kind of stuff every day, you're not eating this stuff every day, then get the Kid Boost or get the Skin Boost, the Vibrant Skin Trio if you want as well, with the vitamin C and the Bio Boost in there too. It's so important to have these nutrients in every single cell in our bodies. So it's like foundational stuff. That's why I talk about it with the food, because it's so important. Anyway, there we go. There's my rant on antioxidants for the day, because they're so important. And I'm just gonna keep on saying it until you find it just kind of rolls off your tongue and it comes out of your mouth, because you suddenly realize, she got in my head. Her antioxidants and everything that she says, it got into my head. I get it. It's landed. I'm gonna have the red peppers. I'm gonna have the yellow peppers. I'm gonna have the greens. And when I don't, then I'm gonna have my Kid Boost, or I'm gonna have it on top of that. And then I'm gonna be super healthy. I'm gonna have amazing skin. My knees aren't maybe gonna hurt so much anymore, or my plantar fasciitis, like my sister. If I could get my Kid Boost to her in Australia, that would be awesome. That would totally help, I'm sure. But anyway, no claims here. I just know that I've had people that say it actually helped me sleep better. So that's gonna come up in my sleep conversation. It's helped me, do my day better. It's helped me, like, instead of coffee. So possibilities are endless. I wanna know, if you do try it, what it does for you too. Anyway, okay, I'll stop my rant now. Have a great evening. Have a lovely sleep tonight. And if you don't, then you know where to come for a little bit of extra help. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for some chicken skewers with a Mediterranean herb rub. So we're just gonna work with some chicken and some dried herbs tomorrow. All right, I will see you then. Thanks so much, and have a beautiful evening.